Right, well, good day and welcome back. We're taking a look at our build for the collector now. Before I get down to all the juicy stuff downstairs, I'll do a quick little coverage on what I've done up here. I've started replacing blocks of soil and whatnot up here with fertilised farm soil and flower soil all along this rock face here, all the way along here, all the way along here, all the way along here. So I've done quite a bit of work up here. We've got one of the new lanterns up here. I think I might leave that here. They're not too bad now. I've taken a bit of a look from over the other side, and just in terms of the way the lighting sort of tends to work thematically, this side's sort of a red kind of lighting side and this side's sort of a green lighting side for the collector, and it's not too bright or too kind of objectionable. So I think we'll leave it the way it is. So that's what we've done up here so far. I've planted a couple of these Revelwood trees, the red ones. Also planted a couple of the yucca palms as well. Just up top, put a couple of these in, and a couple of big aloe plants as well. And I've left a lot of these fertilised farm soil blocks still unlocked. Tried to kind of create a bit of a visual cue up here, coming up here, so you can come across the little dividers here, and that yucca will grow sort of out to where I'm standing here root wise, and that aloe will grow quite big as well, so it'll sort of, you know, it'll direct you this way, the view, and same here as well, it'll sort of direct you more over here, and that yucca will grow out here as well, so all of which will sort of protect a little bit view wise from over there. I just threw a grow bed there just for the hell of it. And as I mentioned before, this is going to be like an upstairs kind of dining, entertaining area and a reading area as well, sort of overlooking the marketplace. And that is similar to what we have above my head for the carpenter, and similar to what I have directly above my head there for the hunter as well. Alright, so that's upstairs. Now coming down here, I've thrown a couple of those newer lanterns in as well, a bit of flower soil there to mix things up. Now, what's been changed in here, just looking at the shop in general, I added in a bit of a beehive out here for the hell of it, because the crafter is not scared by things like bees. We've now got a table and chairs out the front for him, so he can sit out the front of the stall and hang out and look over the marketplace when he's looking after his stall. In terms of some detailing for here, we've now got some books and whatnot on the tables. We've added in a couple more chairs, and we've now got more detailing in all of the bookshelves with books and urns and bowls and all the rest of it as well. So that's what we've done in terms of that, and you can see there, got a couple of those new globes, new little bottles and whatnot. And this is all the shop space, and looking out from the counter, that's what it looks like there, out towards the shop, which I think is pretty cool. And we have the working space over here. I threw a couple of these little glass metal bowl things in, and buckets and tools and whatnot, so it's a working area, I guess. And if you haven't seen the series on this before, there's a trapdoor here. Now coming into the main entry now, I've sort of changed things a little bit out here just in terms of upgrading and updating. So we've now got, I want that sort of desert kind of feel in here, so we've got a lot of that aloe and whatnot. We've thrown a redwood, whatever it's called, the red leaf tree there, and an aloe there. I want this to sort of protect a little bit against the view, so it's kind of teasing the view a little bit. We've got a scarecrow to keep everybody out as well, just in case anybody wanders down here. And a couple of trophies. I've put some photos or pictures up here as well, and we've got some of those straw mat things down on the ground, as we were before going upstairs. Again, straw mats. Now, last time we took a little bit of a look under the stairs here as well. I wanted to add in some of these iron grates and create a little bit of an under the stairs garden. So we've threw a couple of aloes in there and capsicums, which are the deserty kind of plants. There's some other little plants growing in those flowers there, which will grow up pretty soon. I've also added in another little sort of deserty kind of plant section in here with a couple of little pots on the front there, and again the little skeleton candles. That block there is the same block as this one here, so it's kind of trying to carry on a little bit of a theme with sort of only a couple of different types of block. Heading out onto the bedroom now, what I did is I threw a door in here, and we've got 3 little separate blocks up there, the wood blocks. Thought they looked pretty cool. I've never tried it before and came out pretty cool. So we've thrown a couple of his little cupboards in here and bookshelf. And what I did as well is, because there's no sort of specialized collector bed, I just threw one of the palm wood beds in, and a couple of little side tables there as well. And also a little side table here over near the bathroom. So as we said before, there's your end boundary there. And behind the bathroom here, I threw in a couple of the stone windows just for like a divider to the wall, which I think looks pretty cool. I've done what I've done with each of the builds and put sort of like shower bath combined, little wash table here. And that looks out over the snow-peaked mountains over there. I've continued and added in a little bit more of a garden in here as well, and done what I did upstairs and sort of put fertilised soil combined with farm soil in there. And I wanted to have a little bit of a theme of this sort of iron gate around here. So when you're looking over here, I think it sort of frames up that view really well. And it sort of gives that sort of scary kind of thing, which the collector is supposed to be. A little bit of a scary theme, but it doesn't make it too ridiculous. And the views that the collector gets from here are just awesome. So there's views of all of those snow-peaked mountains over there, the tower over there in front of us as well. Get some killer views. And this garden is still growing, by the way, and so is this one, so they'll take quite a while. Now the kitchen, we've put a little bit of a kitchen in here. I put one of the new hanging lanterns in here as well. I don't know, I thought it looked a little bit interesting, just something different, for rather than just having just the big pot there and a normal. Because what I've done with my other builds is put like a fireplace there and threw a pot on top of it, but I just thought I'd do something a little bit different. And mortar and pestle there, can't remember what that thing's called. And a couple of his little cupboards in here as well. And as I said previously, when we set this section up, what I wanted to do was have a great view from the kitchen, which we have. Fantastic view from here. And we've maintained the iron fence theme across here. We've now got a big table in here, so you can just sit here and check out the view, which is awesome. And you can do the same here, just sit here and have a read, check out the view. Put a few little books and whatnot out here. And I put a little pizza oven out here as well, so the collector wants to make pizzas outside. He's got a little pizza oven to do it. And there's another, that's the hanging lantern thing I was mentioning before that I've got over in the kitchen. It's the same sort of one. I haven't sort of gone too far into the details with this. I didn't want to kind of spend hundreds of hours on it because I've still got to do a lot of work up the top. It's going to take me ages to do the top, and it's probably taken me about 6 or 7 hours just to finish and finalize all the details on this. So it takes a lot of time doing all these details on this, but we're getting there. What I did as well was one more thing finally. I see those yucca plants are growing already. One other thing I did finally as well is I made that giant big lantern. I thought I'd at least use it. So what I did is put it sort of in between growing or lighting in between those two sort of red trees that are there. And I think what I may do as well with this little aisleway along here is create, something of a sort of walkway and a little viewing platform out here, which you'll be able to kind of access from the upper garden here. So what I might do at some stage when I get around to it is put maybe a set of steps or a footpath up to here, and then you'll be able to come up and take a look at this. And I might sort of make a little gardens up here all the way to this boundary with the giant tree there, and that will sort of divide this space here as well, because as I mentioned previously, pretty much the gap between here to here and then also here to here is sort of where I want the, I guess, property boundary kind of thing to be for the collector. Because what I've got planned is a few other little things for another builder downstairs, which I've started on. And I don't know who this is going to be as yet, the next builder. But as I mentioned previously, if you haven't caught up on this, I want this to be a centralized space for the markets, and that's market 1 for the collector, the carpenter, the hunter. So I've sort of done, I guess, 3 so far, and we've still got 3 to go. So that's pretty good though, I don't mind. So we've got 1 here. Then, as I mentioned previous, we're going to have the farmer here, which will be 2, and then 1 other one at the end here, which will be 3. And then that'll leave me a little bit of leeway for perhaps another one within the wall in this space here if they do add another builder later on, because there's talk in the forums that they possibly may do so. And I've also will leave potentially some space along this wall here, right behind my head, just for the future, and I won't sort of populate it too much. So what I'm going to do with this build here, when I get around to it, I'll do pretty much the same thing that I've done with the collector's build. I'll take it sort of all the way back. It'll be a really long sort of build in for the shop, and then a long build for the residence. But with that as well, I'll still have an outdoor area, as I was mentioning, up the top here for whoever the next survivor is. So it'll be up here, and they'll have all the way to this property boundary. So this, all of that rock face there, behind there, will be sort of allocated probably from about here, this massive tree on the top level. From about there onwards will be views out allocated for this survivor, and then I'll leave some space from around about here going this way as a views and a residence for another survivor if required. Because as I mentioned, everybody has to go on and have a view onto the centralized marketplace here. So that's the progress thus far of where we're at. I think it's looking pretty damn good so far. It's going to be a little bit of work ginning around, sort of planting a few things here. I'm going to have to put sort of lower lying plants, strawberries, saffron, that sort of thing in here, and then fill it out a little more with some flower soil when I get around to it, when the plants kind of grow as well. Then I'll have to work out what we're going to do here in terms of what we'll populate this upper area with, and I've also sort of started populating up here with soils and whatnot. So I'll have to work out what I'm going to do there with that. I'm still tinkering with possibly the idea of maybe putting something inside that stone, but I don't know what or how. Possibly not. I may even allocate it for the other potential survivor that I'm going to have here. I've still will have yet to work that out, but there are a lot of things that are sort of ongoing. So next what we're going to do is move on to the next door neighbor behind here. I think this one is looking pretty damn good. I'm really happy with this one. Let me know what you think of it in the comments down below as well. I really would appreciate that. And I think that'll do us for this episode, and we'll see you next time on Glitch Gaming.